me be the best man you can be.
Having this talk tonight, a Zoom call, because we want to give us an open space so we can talk and be honest and speak the truth. We all here today to help each other. So when people are talking, respect them while they're talking, but also understand wherever they say, we're here to uplift each other. But first, before we start getting into the open discussion, I actually got a good friend of mine on here. His name is Naheem. I met him through working with the Boy Scouts. This young man, he's on his way to become a police officer, or he's in the making to become a police officer. But the biggest thing, he's a black man. He's a black man that's trying to do the right thing, that's trying to uplift his community, trying to do a lot of amazing things. So I want him to kind of express himself personally about him being a black man, but also him being a police force. So Naheem, can you take the floor for me?
Yes, absolutely. So thank you. As DJ said, I'm Naeem Janky. I'm a cadet with CMPD currently. But I'm at work now. That's why my camera's not on. So I'm doing some stuff right now. But yeah, I entered this profession to give people that look like me, black and brown boys and girls, to make them feel like somebody is protecting and serving them and somebody is an ally to them. So many times I hear a lot of people, a lot of black people tell me like, hey, we feel like the police don't protect and serve us, and we feel like the police are always here to get us. So I joined this profession to be the complete opposite of that. Me having a bunch of family members of mine incarcerated, and from there, them telling me they were mistreated by police, and specifically my father who's incarcerated, just dealing with all those things and having all those things on my mind, I joined a culture and a profession that I knew nothing about to try to serve people that look like me, serve everybody, but especially the people that look like me, and give them an ally in this profession.
I respect that, Naeem.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Naeem, appreciate that.
I'm DJ's brother.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
nice to meet you.
That's my brother. But yeah, so I want to break the ice. I know some of us know each other, some of us don't. I guess a couple of days ago, Darius put something on Instagram basically saying, who am I? When cops see us, they don't know who we are. They just see a black man. Like, prime example, again, I'm a father, a person that want to become a therapist to help people. I'm goofy. I have a lot of things that I am, but when a cop sometime approach us, they can see a black man with tattoos, a big black man. So this time I want, if you want to speak, you can. If you don't want to speak, you don't have to. But this, like I said, this is a place where you can be open. So I want to start off with whoever want to jump in first and say, who am I? Who are you? So we can get to know you a little better. So who want to start?
I'll start. DeMar J. My name Aston Greer. I know DeMar. I've been knowing him since he was younger. I'm from East Texas, where he's from. Longview is where I know him from. He was his good friends with my cousin, who's my cousin's mom and mom. So I spent a lot of time at their house growing up, and that's how I met DeMarge or whatever. Watched high school football, and actually, in fact, when he was in his first 2 years of college at TJC in Tyler, we spent a lot of time together because I was coaching there just outside of Tyler, so he hung a lot over there, and so we've remained pretty tight and good friends since then. And anyhow, I coach in East Texas at Nacogdoches High School. I coach football, and I'm the head girls track coach, and I teach history and everything. And you mentioned, I was just listening to y'all talk, and congratulations to the young man that's about to be a police officer. I think that's really good. And I heard somebody say, I think it was you that said that people sometimes look at black people in those positions and they'll call you Uncle Tom or whatever like that. But, you by reasons, you can't worry about what folks say. You can just get out there and try to change, try to do your part to help. Hopefully everybody else fall in line. So that's a little bit about me. My goal in my career is to be an athletic director at the college level. But my biggest goal and the biggest thing I'm proud of is the impact that I am able to have on all young people, but especially the young Black kids, you know, who growing up, you know, if you're anything like me, growing up, you didn't have many Black teachers, especially in East Texas. You know, if you had a Black, usually it was an old woman teaching a computer class or something that taught your mama, grandparents, and all that. So most people up with younger Black teachers. So I try to be a positive influence. You know, one of my greatest accomplishments has been in the last year or two here. I was able to get a couple of kids to quit participating with this gang or whatever that's really popular in this town, and they done completely turned it around. They're making really good grades, A's and B's, and they're really concerned about sports now and working out and just, you know, pleasing their parents. So, you know, just, I know that may seem like a small thing to some people that don't look like us, but it's a big thing to me to know you can have an impact on those Black kids. So that's a little bit about me, and I'll let y'all get back to it.
I'm gonna go last.
I'll go.
Good.
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Derek. Like DeMarjay said, I'm his brother. I'm his oldest brother. So I knew DeMarjay ever since he was born. I remember when my mama gave birth to him at the house. Our great grandmother had my mother gave birth to him. And DeMarjay, when he was born, he weren't dark. He was lighter than me. He was almost, everyone thought he was Mexican at first, but
that's irrelevant right now. That's irrelevant. I think that's irrelevant.
What happened?
But 2 weeks later, that boy got black as hell. But but all on the real tip, I'm just so proud of my younger brother DeMarjay. He's a great father, a great leader, and he grows so much since growing up. But one thing I want to take away from this is the fact, like, I applaud him for making this platform for us to talk about, especially as Black men. Most of us come from the South, like we're from East Texas, like the guy who's the teacher and whatnot. But like growing up, it was hard because me and DeMarjay and our other siblings, we only had our mother and our grandmother to raise us. As our father, he was a typical, you know, stereotypical Black man, gold teeth, always in jail, multiple kids. However, while growing up, I saw that I didn't want that. I didn't want to have constant drama in my life. I wanted something new. I wanted something more. I want something.
Yes.
What's up?
So what happens normally with SEP IRAs, different in
I always had a passion to do more for myself and my community and for my family. So who am I? I am about to be 30 years old. I'm a Black man, big Black.
When you make the contribution, you'll be making it under 2020, and you and your accountant will just have to keep up with the fact that this contribution.
Well, say, can you please put your mic on mute if you're not speaking, please? Thank you. Oh, Derek, are you done, or you keep going?
Yeah, Derek, you can go ahead.
You can go now.
He's on mute. He's on mute.
Oh, you're on mute.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Cool. All right, but like I was saying, growing up, I wasn't a typical Black dude from Texas. I didn't care too much about football because that was all for DeMarjay. DeMarjay was more the athlete in the family, besides our sister Jazz and softball. Me, I'm more of a nerd. I like watching professional wrestling. I like comic books, but I joined football just so I can stop being called a fat boy or a crybaby. But when I joined football, I got some aggression, and I turned that emotion to raw aggression, and I used it on the field. But then at the time where I stopped caring about football, I just stopped caring. That aggression, I had a hard time turning it off outside the field. So that was one thing that's always hindered me. But however, me being a Black man, especially in the Black community, I started seeking anger management to work on my anger issues. Who am I? I'm an intelligent Black man. I didn't graduate from college, but I'm hoping to starting back to attend in a couple of semesters. I'm a salesperson. I'm a businessman because I used to work in restaurants the majority of my life. But then when I moved out here to California, I started becoming a salesperson, and it got very natural to me where I was doing really well, and a lot of people like me because of my hospitality. I'm always respectful. Somebody, no matter what their skin tone, their race. their sexual orientation or anything like that. I always show people respect at the end of the day. It's all about respect. It don't matter if you like to date 4 or 5 people at the same time or have many this and that. It's all about the respect. But it's really scary out here, especially during this whole thing, that I can drive and just I'm trying to find a place. I'm trying to drive somewhere to get somewhere that I get pulled over for just looking suspicious, especially in California, especially in the Valley, because California is very diverse. However, there's certain areas where there are not many people of ethnicity, especially Black people. There are more Middle Eastern people in certain high-end neighborhoods, but you don't see many Black folks. So my thing like this is and I applaud Mr. Naeem for becoming an officer, especially, you know, it's going to take a lot, especially with what's going on today. People want to try to judge him or try to put him down because he's a Black man trying to become an officer. But I believe if you are a person from a certain community, you should stick to that community so you can, so it'd be a very positivity and very trustworthy interaction with police officers. Because I feel that's the reason, that's why people don't really trust police officers, because these are younger white men who are either power hungry or was always bullied in school. They go to these urban communities where they see these very intimidating dudes, and if you say anything wrong to them or look at them in a type of way, you are considered a threat. So Naeem, I respect you, man, and hopefully you get a job done, and hopefully you be safe. And you know, my hat off to you. And Mr. Greer, I respect you, especially from East Texas as well, for you being a teacher and whatnot. And that's about it.
It's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Especially from East Texas, and you hit it right on the head. I remember majority of our teachers were either older white people or people who taught since the early '80s or late '70s. I know one teacher that taught my great uncle.
Yeah, she got to go.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, but like, yeah, and I. More time, but yeah, education is help. It's just like police. You know, these people that you put in front of these kids, is teaching these kids. It's their job to shape and mold these kids. So, is there racism? Probably. I don't. You know,
yeah.
I've definitely situations that I've questioned in my 9 years of teaching. But these are the people shaping these Black kids, and what they may not be. They're not shaping them to be anything. Because that's what these kids do. They'll pass them at the streets and ain't taught them nothing about life, you know, outside of course, teaching these tests and stuff like that. But it does the kids a disservice if you're not teaching them how to function in society. And I think a lot of people that may not be the same color of some of these kids may not be concerned about, you know, what these people. And there's some that do care. Don't. So that's you know, I'm not scared to be principal. Whoever else that'll listen, appreciate it.
No problem, man.
All right, anybody else want to go? If you want to go, you got to make sure you get off mute so we can hear you.
My name is Ken Surratt. I am a father. I'm a man of God, first of all. I'm a father, and I'm a husband. I'm here because Naeem, I know Naeem. I'm kind of his mentor, his spiritual mentor. And I do mentoring young men. I've been doing that. I've been dealing with youth ministry for over 20-something years. I've done inner city ministry with young Black men. So just here to support my brother. You know, I'm just here to be here for him, you know, just support him and just to be a part of this, you know, just to support other Black men too. So appreciate you guys. Good to see y'all. Much love. Love you, Naeem, my dog.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And then I know my other boys on here, Jamon, nigga, show your face, boy. And then my other dog is on here. my other man, J Love, is in here too. So we just support Naeem. We got a little group that we get together and we talk and we spend time together. And we just walk through life together. So appreciate you guys.
I appreciate
What
you,
up,
man.
Jay?
for being
What up?
on.
Appreciate you, Kenny.
Or say, do anybody else want to go?
Well, I'll go real quick. I know I kind of talked about the background of why I joined the men. But who am I? Like I said, I'm a son to a father, preacher. My dad's a preacher. My mom, she's a child care provider. Both of those entities together has helped develop into who I am. I took bits and pieces of that. Educated black man, graduated from UNC Charlotte with a bachelor's of science degree in biology. I'm on the road to go to medical school. Right now I'm in x-ray school. I graduate in May. And then after that, I'll be applying for medical school. So I'm on the road to be that. Later on this year in September, I'll be a husband, so future husband, locking things down.
Congrats.
Appreciate you, man. Been doing marriage counseling for pretty much, for a long time to kind of get myself ready to lead my future family and to finally understand what it is to be a man to lead the household and how I should do those things. I'm an athlete. I do a lot of mentoring with youth as well. I'm in the fraternity, A5A. I see my dean is on here, Charles. So, it's a lot of things that molded me into the person that I am today. And I just wanted to challenge everybody to just embrace who you are. Everything that you've been through growing up, whether the good, the bad, the ugly, use that as tools to develop who you want to be. Don't be satisfied with, what happened in the past or the opportunities you feel like you may have failed at. Get back on your feet. We all still got opportunity to shine and reach for our goals. And so just don't get complacent and just find your passion of what you want to do and pursue it. And just take care of yourself out here. Be safe. Once we kind of get into the nitty gritty of what's going on out here in this world, and I share my views on that. But that's who I am.
I respect that. Thank you, Darius. I want to piggyback what you just said about people pushing themselves, especially in the Black community. I feel as if in the Black community, we always hold on to stuff that really hinder us to achieve our maximum greatness, and especially Black men. Because it's always going to be that, man, if somebody didn't say this to me at work, I couldn't have been much further. It's always, I think it's like I feel like it's a generational thing where you hold on to stuff and you should be able to let go. And I'm an advocate for mental health, especially if you find through therapy, religion, church, or just a group, you need to let that go. And I think that's one of the main things that's hurt us Black men for so long, because we was taught, especially growing up, especially if you was brought up by just women, that a man shouldn't cry or you shouldn't show much emotion. But the only emotion that you should be able to show, I've never rephrased that. If you show happiness, they think you're weird. If they show you anger, they think you have anger problem. If you show cry, they think you're gay. I just feel as a Black man, you can't really show much emotion without somebody think you a certain way. That's just me. Growing is just I feel like everybody just want to really be able to become themselves without much judgment.
I respect that. I can understand that. Anybody else want to go before we get to a discussion?
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's get into what we really, came here for. And, one of the things I want to start off with, obviously what happened recently that got us all fired up is, George Floyd. I want to know, how do y'all feel about that? I know personally for me, I feel so angry because when I watched that video, when I looked at him, I seen myself in him. And just watching him, at the beginning of his life to the end, it hurt me so much. And I knew right then, even though I was out here in the community making change, I knew we had to do more, because it's hard seeing another Black man just die like that in the hands of an officer that could have done something differently. I mean, like I said, I get emotional when I speak about that because it really is hard because you try your best. You can wear a suit and tie like Darius being medical school, Naheem being a police officer. You can be a pastor, but when you walk out here in this world, you're still a black man. That's how they see you. And I just want to find a way where when people see us, they just need to see that, hey, we more than that. We are human. We want more in life. We are great men. We got a lot of great black men out here doing a lot of amazing things, but you don't see that on the news. And it's really hard sometimes, but I feel like this right here is going to allow us to open up. And because right now where I work at, I'm not able to express myself in front of my peers because they don't look like me or they don't understand what I'm going through. Every day you try to go to work and put on a nice face, but you know deep inside you angry, you hurt because your people out there getting killed and you can't do anything about it. But then you realize you can do something about it because, hey, I got the platform to make everybody's voice be heard. That's why I always want y'all to know y'all voice are powerful. No matter who you are, your voice is powerful. You mean something. You somebody's child. You somebody's brother. Like you mean something to this world. But I just want to get y'all take because I'm here for you guys to listen to you guys. I want to get your take. How do you feel about the George Floyd situation?
To real quick, what you said, you said you have yourself and your co-workers or colleagues look like you. I think this whole situation with George Floyd, I will give him credit for this. It has allowed us to be able to speak up more, and it's forcing other people of other races, especially white people, they have to come out. Basically, they've had to come out and pick a side. I've seen so many coaches on Twitter, they have to come out and say Black Lives Matter and things like that. Our principal, he came out and said Black Lives Matter the other day, which now, I know those are just words, but now I think it's opened up the dialogue, and it's going to let you be able to say stuff. And people are going to have to listen. I had about, since last weekend, like a week ago, I've had about 6 or 7 white people that I've either worked with or worked up under or whatever that have called me just to reach out, and they just wanted to talk and listen and let me talk and let me say whatever I wanted to say. So I think this is the start of something good that is allowed for people to talk and have dialogue, because that's what it's going to take. And one thing I will say, these protesters, they have really done a lot in this last week. It's open to the country. You've got Republicans that are coming out and calling out Donald Trump and saying, look, you got to do something. The former Secretary of State, and with the last Republican president during the Bush administration, Colin Powell, we all know him. He came out and said, voting for Trump, he's voting for Joe Biden. And it's been some military generals that worked up under Trump that were probably conservative Republican men that have came out and said the same thing. So, because they know this country can't go back to that. And it's been that, but they know these protests, riots have scared the hell out of them. And
because we got smarter.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I really applaud the people that have been protesting in all these cities. It was 60,000 people the other day in Houston protesting. It's just 2 hours away. And it was a peaceful protest, and they all marched, and the police were involved with it, and positive about it. So, listen, and I see at first they was like, well, looting not the answer. Well, shit, you're right. Looting not the answer. But if looting gonna make you wake the fuck up and listen, then maybe that is the answer, because they looted for a little bit, went peaceful, and started. That's one thing I will say. The best come out of this is people have to start this conversation, and it's forcing people to talk and pick sides. And if you ain't coming out and saying nothing about it, it's leading folks to think, you don't want nobody to think you're a racist, so you got to come out and say something.
Yeah, and I feel like that's trying to have this conversation. I feel like a lot of white people may have trouble opening themselves up with it because of, okay, yes, we had, everybody, we all know what happened in past history. But when you try to talk to them, they feel conflicted because of what happened in the past. And so our main message is to them is to realize there is social injustice going on, and that regardless of your white, black, whatever you are, wrong is wrong. And the way black people are treated opposed to our other counterparts is wrong. So if you can't look at what happened to George Floyd and in your mind say, this is ethically wrong, and this is dehumanizing a person, then there's something wrong with your heart. And there's no laws, there's no, even election, all that. You can't change the heart of a person based off of, voting for something. that has to change internally. And the only way you're going to do it is by empathizing with the person. And the only way you can empathize with a person is to be able to see things from their view, see things from their lens. If you can't even talk with them about their experience, what have you experienced? What have you went through? If you don't take the time to understand, you may never understand, because everything that's rooted in your mind, whether it's from, your dad, your grandparents, whoever you grew up with, however you felt internally, and what you was taught is what you're going to display. And so, I feel like the conversation has to happen in the household, where these families can realize, what do we feel? How do we feel about Black people? How do we feel about white people? Why do we feel the way we feel? How did it get there? And if you can figure out those things and understand that now, especially nowadays, I feel like our generation, you can't go somewhere, you can't work somewhere, you can't go to school. Besides like HBCUs, to where there's not mixed races. You have to interact with those people, whether you're comfortable with it or not. So why can we be cool at work? Why can you be cool with me? You're supposed to be my friend, but then at home, I'm this N-word. Or in my household, you a crack or whatever word you want to use. And so it's like, we have to, from both sides, we have to be able to understand the importance of it and be able to, until we fully accept the diversity of the world in our heart, can we only embrace the diversity. Because for y'all who believe in Christian, whoever believes is out here, but God used in the Bible, he allowed diversity because of the people that disobey him. That's when he spread it out. He had people speaking different languages all around the world. We all start out as one body, as one flesh. But because of the people that disobey him, that's when he spreaded those cultures out. And he wanted to see if people was going to lay down their cultures, lay down their differences, to come back together as one. And that's a choice we have to make. And so, we don't know if it's ever going to get that way. But it's up to the individual to change the narrative. We can't change what happened in the past. We all can collectively progress of how we want to live going forward.
True.
Yeah, because that's what me and Darius always speaking about is like, with this situation going on, we understand that we can't change the past. Slavery, Jim Crow, we can't change that. But what we can do is look forward and see, hey, like Aston was saying earlier, the beautiful thing you are seeing when you at the protests, you seeing the mix of the world, everybody there, Black, white, Hispanic, everybody there, because they see what's going on, they see what's wrong. And I will listen to Shannon Sharp on SBN, and he was talking about, you can't love Black athletes, but don't love the Black man. It just don't work like that. That Black man and that athlete is still one person. Like LeBron James, I know y'all seen that situation with him where he spoke out because, again, he got a platform. A lot of Black kids look up to him. He's showing them that it's okay to use your talents to make your dreams come true, but also to be educated, to be a man of God, like Darius said. But then you have people that say, hey, just be quiet and dribble a basketball. Why he can't do both? He's still a man at the end of the day. No matter if he's an athlete, he's still American citizen. He's still a man that got the rights to speak, wherever he want to speak about. But then somebody else say something about the flag, then you tell that person, hey, that person should have a political view, that they just more than an athlete. And I just feel like I'm tired of every time something happening when it's a black and white thing. Oh, a white man can do this, but a Black man can't.
Mm-hmm.
So it just get me frustrated, man. Just all the time, just seeing that, just like, hey, only thing that make us different is our color. But if you cut us open, we bleed the same, we look the same inside, but our color make us different, and it's just really frustrating. It's really frustrating about that.
Yeah. When I heard about it, I to the point got numb, because it's like every other day we hear about another Black man being slain by a police officer or racist white person because they felt threatened for their lives. Because a week or two prior, it was the guy that got lynched by those two guys in the South. Then what's crazy, the 2 days before George Floyd, we had that white woman in the park, Central Park, with the Black guy who's a bird watcher, and she deliberately said, I'm gonna call police, I'm gonna say a black man is threatening my life. She used that as a weapon. The only thing he asked of her is put her dog back on the leash, where even in that park, it says, do not keep your dogs on leash. You gotta keep on the leash. It's the fact. I'm angry because I'm tired of seeing these damn videos of how these police officers, they abuse their authority. How the hell are you a grown ass man? I'm sorry if I'm cursing too much. I apologize, Pastor Kenny, if I'm cursing too much. It raises me. It's the fact. You a big dude, I'm a big dude. I'm 280 plus pounds. Mr. Kenny, you're a big dude too. Anybody over 200 plus pounds, if somebody said, oh, he could have breathed, how the hell can somebody breathe if you have all your weight on somebody's back of their neck? It does. I'm furious because we've seen this so many times in the past decade where we have so much evidence, so much stuff that white people just don't get. How are you gonna apprehend that this person died right in front of you and not do nothing? It would not that it's because I'm sorry, it still baffles me how people think. And you see people coming about the riots and stuff. I hear more white people complain about the riots than the actual thing that everybody's rioting over or doing over the rallies. We're tired of that. I should not. My black life shouldn't come to a price because you're insecure about who you are. In that, I'm sorry that you was brought up to be fearful of me for what I do not understand of. Then you got Fox News. And nothing. I don't listen to Fox News. Fox News is full of shit. They always so quick to say this about this certain people, that certain people, but don't want to get shit straight about their president. Trump is full of shit. I'm more upset about the people who support Trump because he is an idiot. Let's be honest. Trump always been an asshole before he became president. However, the people that actually believe in his bullcrap, that was sickens me. That was sick to me to my core. How are you a able-bodied person with a sound mind believe anything that this Cheez-It come to life believes or says? You got people afraid to come out. You got people afraid to do anything because he speaks so much hate. He promotes it. And he just said the most ignorant stuff that he should have been impeached a long time ago. Before he became president, he should have got in trouble for making fun of that guy with the handicap with the short arm. Because I've seen other people, political parties, people who was running for president that got disqualified for smaller stuff than that. However, this fool was able to become the president of the United States for some strange reason. And that shows you how white America will put America in trouble because they despise a black man that was president before anything else. That's my take on it. I was just pissed about the whole thing and whatnot.
To bring a point to what you stuff that voted for, as black people at a job voting well. Trump was allowed to get in. I think there was a lot of people in the African American community that take this election as serious. In 2008, every black person in America probably voted because of Obama in 2008, 2012. We may not be black president in the foreseeable, but we still got to get our asses out there and go vote. And we got to protest is if these people are really tired of it, then go vote. I'm not saying the Democrats are the best way to go because there's Republicans speaking out right now against saying they're voting Democrat. Democrats ain't perfect, but are they better than what we got in the White House right now? Maybe so. But I think we have to get out and be involved in this, and not just the presidential election. People got to vote out. The lowest voter turnout in any political race is the local elections. That's where that stuff changes at. I don't know. Black people so popular, they be on Facebook, they can have twerk offs and have fucking parties and block parties and everybody be there. Well, if all them people really love you and want to show up to your block party, run for office and tell they ass to come vote for you and get somebody else with you and be on the council and hire that looks like you that's going to hold you accountable. And then at the state, hire commissioners and lieutenant governors by voting for them and going out and finding the right people that's going to change this around. So, I mean, I think we all have played a part. Like we talk about the folks that may be idiots or whatever for voting for Trump, you know, it's some idiots like the Red Party and vote.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Real quick, before I say my piece in regards to the George Floyd incident, I'm required to inform the group I don't represent CMPD in any capacity or the city of Charlotte. I represent myself as another young black man on this Zoom call. Just want to let everyone know that as we discuss this. So when I first saw the video of George Floyd, I was instantly pissed, like furious, upset. I felt rage. I felt hurt. I felt a lot of anger. And my spiritual mentor, Kenny, will tell you that I was upset. Like I told him, like I'm enraged. I'm angry about this. And it's not like, and he reminded me that it's not like this is just beginning, right? Like this isn't new for us. It's not like it's my first time seeing an unfortunate situation or a death of a black man in the hands of law enforcement or someone that's white. But this one, and I still haven't figured out why this one made me so upset. But it did. It made me upset. And then just a lot of what's going on, other than the situation with the Ahmaud Arbery, with Breonna Taylor, with a lot of things that are going on, it's making me upset as a young black man in a society where, like DJ said, I see myself in George Floyd. I see myself in Ahmaud Arbery. I go running. I go running wherever I want, whether it's a white neighborhood, a black neighborhood, I go running too. So that could have been very well any of us. So I think that it's important. I know someone mentioned that with the work environment, it's sometimes difficult to have these conversations. But I personally want everyone to have these conversations, no matter your work environment. For me, as you know, law enforcement is a predominantly white profession, a predominantly white male profession, has been for years, and the way it's looking will continue to be for years. So, and every opportunity I get, I use every opportunity to share my thoughts on this so people can hear, yes, I'm a young black man before anything else. So when I take this uniform and this vest and this equipment off and go out into the public, I'm tatted. I got hair on my head. I'm tall, a black man. So I don't identify with that when I go out into the public. So I would say for sure, if you're not already doing it, use your voice in the workplace, obviously in a professional manner, but let people know what's going on, because those are the conversations. More of those will continue to make change with people when they relate you to their workplace, when they know they have to listen to you, when they know they can't say anything too crazy or out the wall. So that's where we need to start having those conversations. And two, a lot of what I'm seeing is more of the anger, more of rage, and a lot of protesting. And the protesting is making a positive change. It is making a positive move. What I would love to see is a leader. I think having a leader, the same way they did with the civil rights movement, that leader being Martin Luther King, I think having a leader in these times, in this position, is the best thing for us as young black men, as black people in general, because a lot of us are filled with anger and emotion. And right now we can take that anger and emotion and do things that we wouldn't normally do, but out of anger and emotion, we will act out and we will show that rage. And I feel that same rage. So I understand that. And I'm hoping that we can have someone step up to the plate and show the same leadership that Martin Luther King showed. But you see, he had to lay down his life for that leadership. And as we're black men, and as we care strongly about this issue and about the things that continue to happen, I ask us, how many of us are willing to lay down our lives, to lay down our family's name, to lay down our family, our wives, our children, for something that we say we believe strongly about, something that hurts us to the core, something that we cry and mourn about together? How many of us are willing to say, I'm going to put my job on the line, my family, my wife, my kids on the line, to say, I'm going to stand up for this cause. I'm going to stand up for what I know is right. And I'm going to do something to lead the population of black people that are out here in these environments, protesting, etc., and standing up for what's right. Because I'll be honest, if we know how our president is moving right now, if we continue to do things without leadership, while I agree with the things we're doing, protesting, etc., if the politician, the president, if he decides he doesn't like that, he's already said it. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. He already threatened to bring the military into these zones. He already has put National Guard in a lot of these places. Now, we're going to continue. That is going to make us even more mad. That's going to piss us off even more. So as Black people filled with rage and emotion and anger of what's going on, we can start acting out with them. And, you know, military is way different than police. They are militarized and trained to kill people. Like they are to take you down. So that's what I fear from this standpoint, as a young Black man, is that we will continue to exploit our rage and anger in a way that these politicians and these people that are in charge of putting the military in these places, it will end up bad for us. So my hope is that even if it's within this group, someone can say, I'm going to take some position of leadership to lead the people that I say I care and love about, to make a positive change. We're in a better position than anyone in the civil rights movement back in the day, because we have social media, we have cameras, we have Zoom calls, we have FaceTime, we have unlimited amount of resources and an unlimited amount of people we can reach right through our phone. So I'm hoping that we learn from this and we continue to move forward, and that some of us take some position of leadership.
Naeem, I have a question. Would you train to become an officer? I have two questions, matter of fact. With the video of George Floyd, did you feel helpless? And my second question, with you training and becoming an officer, do you feel like it's gonna be like unnecessary pressure on you to become a double the better, to be a really good cop, to be with the people, because you feel like it'll be a lot of pressure on you to be a really civilized cop in any type of manner?
Did I feel helpless? I'll go with the first question. Did I feel helpless when I watched the video of George Floyd? Yes, and that, I think, contributed to my rage.
Yeah.
My whole life, all I want to do is help people. If I see somebody on the side of the road struggling, I'm gonna pull over. If it's rain, if it's thunderstorming, if it's snowing, if it's hot as Hades, I'm gonna pull over and help. I like to help people. That's my thing. That's why another reason why I got into the profession. So yes, I was upset and angry because I felt helpless. I felt like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go over there. If I was one of the people standing there recording this incident, yes, I'm one of the people that says, okay, I would have laid my life down to put an end to this on either side of the fence. Whether that means I was in blue in that uniform, I would have been one of those officers to rip off the person who put his knee on George Floyd's neck, or from a citizen standpoint, I would have been someone to intervene in a way that that stops him, whatever had to be done. So yes, I felt helpless. And number two, the question was, do I feel pressure on becoming a very civilized officer? Yes and no, right? So this doesn't contribute to more. The George Floyd situation doesn't contribute to more pressure. Honestly, and transparently, I feel pressure no matter what, because I'm a Black man in the profession of law enforcement. So everything I do is obviously scrutinized on both sides, from civilian standpoint and most likely from the police standpoint, right? So that's a pressure that I feel at all times. I feel that when I'm involved in a scene, or when I'm doing something, or when I'm talking to a citizen on a call for service, I feel like I need to be. I go the extra mile to make that person know, especially if they're a Black person. I go the extra mile because I feel that pressure to let them know, hey, I'm here for you. Hey, I'm a good guy. Hey, I'm cool. Hey, you know, we can work this out in a way that doesn't end in you being dead, right? So that's that I feel a lot of that pressure. Yes, absolutely. Every time I go to work, I feel like anytime I walk out of the house in this uniform, I want to be the I want to be the difference, and that's a lot of pressure at times, because I experience a lot of people that don't. That say they want cops to protect and serve them, but then like when I go the extra mile, when other officers or even other Black officers go that extra mile, they don't want anything to do with that. You know, it's like, it's fuck 12, it's Uncle Tom, it's all this. So you know, it's a lot of that, which is fine, because that doesn't stop me, and I don't take it personal. That doesn't stop me from doing what I'm trying to do, but it does. It is a lot of pressure. Yes.
Gotcha.
Can I say something? Naeem made a couple good points. I just want to follow up on. As an older black man in here, I think I'm probably the oldest one. I would just suggest young men. I've been angry, and you're young, so you're angry. And I talk to Naeem all the time. You have to control your anger. That's the number one thing. As a Christian, I come from a different perspective. Lots of times, at Naeem, we'll go back and forth. Lots of times, because I come from a perspective of I'm a Christian. I believe in certain things, and I stand by certain things, and I live by faith. Okay, so when it comes to certain things, I was young too, so I completely understand. And Naeem will tell you, I keep it 100. I don't pull no punches. He'll tell you I'm straight 100. I'll be honest with him. So like I told him when he was in rage, I said it's okay to be angry, but you gotta control your rage. So many young black men, you get in rage, then all of a sudden you lose your discipline. And like I told him, if you're an officer, you're gonna have to learn how to control your rage. That's the problem with most officers now. They don't know how to control their rage when they get upset, and they lose their discipline, they lose their focus. Then you end up doing things that you regret or you don't regret, but whatever. I think a lot of them don't control their rage. I said, if you want to continue to be a good officer, Naeem, you're going to have to learn how to control it. I don't know what kind of jobs everybody has on here, but it's just the point where many times I have to walk away because I have a family, I have a wife, I have a kid on the way. So there's certain things that as a black man, I cannot do. Because if I go to jail, I can't help my family. I can't do anything. So that's what I'm trying to say is, as black men, sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to set yourself aside and say, it ain't new to me. I'm 48 years old. I've seen this. It's sad that that it has to come to this, but sometimes it has to come. And this thing I feel like is of God. I feel like God's hand is on it. This man lost his life, but he lost a life for the greater good. You look at most of our leaders who've lost their life, and I look at the main person who lost their life was Jesus Christ. He lost his life, but he laid it down for us. So I'm saying as black men, you got to find, first thing I always tell Naeem, identity. You got to know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, when white people say stuff to you, when you'll start believing it, or you'll contradict it, or you contradict yourself, you start thinking, am I like this? First, you got to know who you are, your identity. Then you got to find your purpose, whatever your purpose is. It's just like if you got a tool and you don't know how to use that tool, you're going to abuse that tool. You're not going to get the best out of that tool. So you got, as black men, you got to find out what is your purpose in life. What are you designed and created to do? Once this, you can see his giftings. Naeem tells you he wants to help people. So that's his gifting. That's something, your gifting is something that you do so good that you do better than anybody else. So when you start doing things and everybody else say, man, that's so easy for you, that's probably your gifting, bro. Okay, so I tell him his gifting is, his calling is helping. I feel like eventually, we're supposed to have this conversation too. I believe the boy need to go in politics. That's something, that's another conversation I was about to have with him too. You can start at police, but you need to go into politics. Okay, you speak well. You put you got to find out as a father figure to him. I can see the giftings of from a father situation. That's why we have a group. You guys need men in your life who can speak into your life and tell you what you're supposed to do. They can grab you when you want to act the fool. When you want to get enraged, you want to do something stupid, you got to have a black man that you respect and who can say, hold on, I will grab him by his neck and I will choke him down and tell him this ain't what you're supposed to do. Okay? He respects me and honor me. You need somebody in your life like that who can tell you no, who can tell you don't go that route. Because sometimes you just, as a young person, we don't think. I wrote it down. So you got to find purpose. He talked about that. I feel like that's the main thing with you guys. You guys got to find some purpose. And then you got to turn that rage into something positive. You got to give back. Okay, I tell these boys if I'm spending my time, they come over to my house, they spend time with me. I say, you gotta give back. You gotta give back, fellas. You gotta give back to your community. It's not going. Most of you, raise your hand. Don't have a daddy. Raise your hand if you don't have a daddy, or your daddy wasn't in your life. All right. So you need a father figure. You need somebody in your life. So guess what? You see all them young people out there who you could probably speak into them. Tell him
Kenny, you
all
still there?
huh?
No, you
Froze
good.
up. You froze up. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I could be doing a lot of stuff, and I spend my time, I take my time out with these young men because I know I had a good father in my life, but I needed an older brother or somebody who I could respect in a different kind of way. Your daddy always looking out for you. He always gonna tell you what you don't want to hear. But to have that older brother, that older uncle, somebody who's positive, somebody who just ain't, somebody who cares about you, somebody who can speak to you in a different kind of way. So I didn't have that. So I'm trying to give that back to these guys, to Naeem and all this. So I'm saying is you guys got to do the same to the next generation, because the next generation is what's going to change this. You got to give back, fellas. I know this society, this culture tells you to go get yours, go get mine. But I'm telling you, bro, I tell him all the time, it don't matter, man. You got to give back. It's not about that money. We had this conversation all the time because he liked that money. And I told him, bro, it's not about money, y'all. It's about giving yourself back, and you'll get all the benefits. I'm telling you, there's nothing like seeing a young man like him you see him growing, you see him make mistakes, but you see him get up, you see him walk, you see him run, then you see him sprint. It's nothing better than that, fellas. Money cannot place giving it back to your community. And this is the problem that the black community have, and we need to talk about this, but we don't want to talk about black men not being in the home. This is a big problem of what's going on, is not having the black men in the house. You got women raising men, trying to raise men. And I know there's good women out here, good mothers. His mom's a good mom, but he need a man to make him a man. A woman can't make you no man. So you got to find out. I hold him accountable. You need to find somebody who gonna challenge you, who gonna push you, fellas. It's just like a coach, a trainer. Every great athlete got a good coach, okay? Everybody do. You can't walk this life on your own, fellas. You need somebody to push you, to make you strive to do, because some stuff you're going to come up to, you're going to need somebody to push you. So that's all I got to say is like, man, take this anger, take this pain, feel it. Don't try to numb it. Nah, feel this shit. Feel it. Don't feel the hurt, feel the pain, let it get down. Don't run. Don't try to smoke no weed. Don't try to drink it off. No, stay in this. Feel it. Feel it. And then say, I don't never want to feel this again. So then once you feel all that anger and that pain, then say, okay, what I need to do. Because when you start figure out what you want to do, because it's gonna be some tough times. It's gonna be some hard times. It's gonna be some people gonna come against you. That's when you think about that pain that you felt with that man when he died. That's when you need to bring it up, and you let that fuel you, fellas. You let this pain fuel you. You let what you see on TV, you let that fuel you to do great things. In this room can do great things. All you can lead. Leader ain't got nothing to do with grabbing no mic. Leader ain't got nothing to do with always being seen. You can be a leader wherever you at. Anywhere you at, you can lead. You don't need no mic. You don't need no stage. You don't need all you need is one person. That's it. You can lead at work. You can lead on the job. You can lead on the bus. You can lead. There's opportunities that come up throughout the day when you can lead. Don't think lead without a title. Because if you lead, you'll get a title. But so many people they're trying to get a title. Once you're doing what you're supposed to do, the title will come. And then people will follow you because you've been doing this all the time. And then people will follow you because you don't need no title. You're like, man, my man be doing this from day one. All right, so I'm not going to hold y'all up. I just want to say, man, that anger is a key. You got to control that. You got to discipline that. You got to get somebody to help you guys out. You got to get somebody to speak into your life. I see greatness in all y'all, man. And it's just like, man, you got to obtain it, but you got to get somebody to challenge you. You got to get somebody to push you. All right, man. I love all y'all. All right.
Yeah, I want to say, Mr. Kenny, I appreciate that. I agree with 100% you saying. I can't tell y'all, all my brothers on here, how many mentors I've had growing up, men like him, older men, and talk to a lot of kids, just like you're talking to us now. But the difference is, what do you take with that information and how do you use it? Because some people is going to go one end and out the other. For me, my purpose, or what I did, was I held it inside for the opportunity for it, just to use it. Because a lot of people we may not understand things right now. But once we get in these situations, that's when you memorize all your teachers, your mom, your dad, your uncles, your mentors, everything they instilled in you. That's when they come out. But you have to keep them there. Because he's not saying you got to, well, actually right now, yes, we all can be leaders. But it's going to be a certain time where you're going to remember everything he just said. You know, I got a prime example last week when all that stuff happened with George Floyd. That next day, I work at MRI. I'm an MRI tech assistant at North Carolina. I had a patient. If y'all have had MRI before, you know you can't have anything magnetic on you, okay? There's a Caucasian guy came in. How you doing, sir? Empty your pocket, cell phone, keys, my whole little spiel I always do, okay? He asked about his belt. I said, yes, sir, you take your belt off too. This man had the audacity to say, don't make me whoop you with it. After everything that's going on, he had the audacity in my face. Now, I'm a grown man. Older me, younger than me, whoever, but you had the audacity to tell me that. And for me, my dad always instilled in me, and I've always, you know, I had, in my mind, I had to make a decision. Was I going to confront him, or was I going to hold myself together, hold my character together, hold my integrity together, and be strong mentally at that moment? Because whether he was playing or not, I had to make a choice. And so for me, I act like I ain't even here. Got him on the table, did everything like that. But when I sat down at that table, it was so much pain inside. Because why do I, as a black man, have to hold that inside? If you got the capability to say what you want to say out the side of your neck, but then when I get ready to say what I got to say, then it's a problem. It shouldn't be the way. But because of who I am, I know whose I am, God, and because I understand what's going on, and I'm not naive of what's going on. But I had to, for my own character, I had to put that on the back burner. And I was sitting in my chair like, and my tech is white. He's a white man. And so at first I'm sitting there like, I can't believe he just said that. Like, did he not know who I am? You know how we all feel. You know what I'm saying? And so I told my tech, I said, do you know what he just said to me? He said, what, who, the last guy? I said, no, the one that's sitting on our table right now. He said, what did he say? I said, I told him to take his belt off, you know, it's Mac and everything like that. And he said, okay, don't make me whoop you with it. He was like, wait, what? I said, yeah, that's what he said. Then he was like, people just say the craziest things. After that, he wanted to try to flip it and say, well, maybe he was just trying to be sweet. Maybe he was doing it. I said, no. I said, you understand what's going on. You have to understand. I said, this is what black people have to go through. I told him, I said, me as a black man, I have to sit back and act like I didn't hear that. Mm-hmm. When deep down inside, it's like it's testing me as a man. It's testing me as a man, but it's how I'm going to respond. They try to get you to come out of who you are, and because then if I come out disrespectful, or I come out in rage, now they want to label me just like they want to label everybody else.
Yep.
And so it's hard though. It's hard. It's hard to filter that and wrap it aside. And like you said, feel the pain, understand the pain, but use it towards something else. In my mind, now, ain't nothing gonna stop me from reaching my dreams. Why? Because my future family, my future kids, I gotta lay down that platform. In my school right now, I got all kind of races in my class, but I'm the top of my class. I'm the president of my class. I don't boast about it, but I work hard every single day because I know what I want. I know what I want to accomplish, and ain't nobody going to stop that. And so if I get on my path and I lead the way and I'm out here in the community, I'm doing what I got to do, people going to see it. People going to see it because of your work ethic. You ain't got to say a word. My class voted me as president before I even said I wanted to be president. Why? And I'm the only black male in my class. Why? Because of what I did, because of my foundation that already stood inside before school even started. You don't have to, Mr. Kenny, you don't have to do anything to make me a leader. I make myself a leader by the way, my character, by the way I am, by the way I listen, by all the advice and everything that I do to mold me as a man. That's what you utilize to create your platform. Lead, it's already, like he said, it's a leader in every one of us, but it's how you use it. It's the platform you use it. And you have to understand it, but that's very important because as far as the George Floyd thing, man, yes, man, I agree with you, Derek. Sometimes, man, we can get numb to it because it's out here so much in the world. But that particular, man, it was 3 days after it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel for him, like I'm so enraged, but how do I use it? But then it hit me. If that was my brother, if that was my daddy, if that was my grandfather, if that was my son, if that was anybody close to me, how would I act? To be honest, I can't tell y'all how I act. If somebody close to me was dehumanized in that way, how do you feel? Right now, we see it, but we're so distant from it. We're not looking at it straight in the face because that's not nobody in our circle. But if that's somebody in your circle, how do you feel that pain? It's a different kind of pain when it's right there in your own house. It's a different kind of pain. Are we gonna sit back there and be like, okay, we're gonna just fight for justice. We're gonna protest. You may not know what you're gonna do. You may not know. And it's like, it's so hard to have to even bottle all that up and figure out how to distribute it. It's so hard as a black man because you've been in it so long, you don't know if it's gonna change. And it may not hit reality of what's really going on until it directly affects you. And that's what we have to educate not only blacks, whites, all races, because if it's your brother, your mother, your son right here, how would you feel? So if you can't empathize for that person as if it's your own family, as if it's your own brother, as if it's your own son, then how do you expect somebody else? How can you get mad because they're grieving or because they don't know where to channel their anger? Not to say everything is right, but you have to understand. We as people, we have emotions that we have to get out. But I just want to say I agree with everything you're saying, and because of the mentors I've had when I was young, it shaped me to everything that I am today. And that's what I've been doing as far as mentoring people, bridging from high school to college, younger kids, and even my brothers. When we started the men, just everything with how we go in the community, it's all about. It feels so much better to do something for somebody and see somebody moving that straight path than to get a check. I agree with that's 100% because you just imagine, okay. Imagine when you got a son, okay, and now he learned how to walk. You know how good of a parent you feel when your child started to learn how to walk and when you teach him how to ride a bike. How accomplished you feel to see him moving in the right direction. But you don't got to get paid. You don't need nothing back to see somebody progress. I don't need y'all to say, okay, you a good man and you this and you that. For me, in order for me to live the life according to what God has for me and this purpose that he want me as far as with the people, that's not what you need. You just got to have your character, your purpose, your driven, and just live it, man. Like live life to the fullest. That's all I'm gonna say because I keep talking.
Yeah, Smalls, I respect that, Smalls, because I cannot stress you. Like, hopefully, like I know I talk a lot, guys, but I've been quarantined with my girl with my girl. But like, it's good to finally talk amongst other black men, especially because where I used to work at, I was the only black guy there. I had one coworker, but she's an older black woman. But it's always weird because I'm always either the only black person or only young black male there. So now I'm grateful for my brother to invite me to this chat because I can express myself amongst other black men and nobody look at me weird because, hey, we all here for one thing and just to vent out and just relate to one another.
But there's, like you said, I agree with you, and Mr. Kenny, I agree with you too. We need more black fathers in the household, and that's one thing I still myself, as well as DeMarge is doing for our kids. Or I don't have no kids at the moment, but I don't never want my child to feel unloved, and don't want my son, especially my son in general, to feel not loved from me. I chose when I cannot stress to you the level if it feels where you feel like you're not enough, but not enough for your own father, because you feel like, what did I do to deserve this pain? Well, how come you never loved me? That's one thing I always, it's like I'm trying to move forward. I have this myself from my father, but same time, I always ask myself this: what's something that you saw when you saw me as a baby that you didn't want to agree with me or didn't like me? It's just, I hate that feeling. I don't want no other child to feel that way. Hell, I feel bad for people who don't have a good connection with their mother. I know people who don't have both their parents, and I just want them to feel love, but just, I want to not always be about success. It's about finding your true self no matter what it takes. And that's the problem with some people. They don't love themselves. It's about find themselves, and they need to work harder to reach that point.
Yep. Yeah, I want to say something too, Mr. Kenny. No, I say I appreciate you giving us good wisdom, because again, like my brother, growing up with no father, I have two boys right now, and having my son, I was afraid because I was young. I was only 22. I didn't know how to become a father because I didn't have a father. But I was able to meet guys like Darius, meet Darius' father, and meet a lot of good friends that helped me, because I always realized that it's not about the age of a person. Even Naheem, first time I met him, you can see how he speaks, you see how he carries himself. He's younger than me, but I looked up to him too, because it's not all about the age of a person, it's about the character of a person. And when I seen Naheem or Darius speaking to me, they give me wisdom, it empowered me to not only be a better man, but also to start the man with my brothers to give back. Because what Darius said, ain't no better feeling than giving back to somebody. To see a kid look at you smiling, saying thank you, and you didn't get no money for that. I coached a flag football league this year, 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds. My son is only 4. He can't play yet, but I still went out there and coached because I knew what football did for me. Growing up in my household, yes, my mom tried her best as a single mom in a place where it was violent, where she tried to start education in us, character, and she did, but it was hard. But I used the game of football to open doors for me. And that's why I always tell young brothers that play the game of football, basketball, any sport, that you control the ball don't control you. You use that game. If you use that game to get you an education, use that game to open doors for you that wasn't allowed to be open, that's your key. If that's the only way you got the way out of your community. And me using the game of football allowed me to meet guys like Darius, to have a brotherhood, to have a friendship, also hold each other accountable. That's the most thing that a black man needs, where you said a mentor will hold you accountable. When you are doing something wrong, I want you to tell me the truth that I'm doing something wrong. Don't sit there and just let me do it. Tell me, hey, brother, you're doing this wrong, man. This is how you do it. And I feel like as we do that for more black men, I see us getting better and better. But like you said, it starts with us. That's why I wanted to have this call, is that how can we change anything we don't change ourselves? I mean, how we don't, we out here hurt. A lot of us out here dealing with mental issues. A lot of black men, seeing people get killed. We got PTSD. So many things right now because we don't talk to each other. We feel like, hey, I'm going to just hold that in because I don't want nobody to see me as weak. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel weak. Like you said, Mr. Kenny, feel that anger, feel that rage, and let that inspire you. Because a lot of people told me where I grew up at that you're going to end up in jail one day. You wasn't going to be nothing. But look at me now. I took that same criticism and empowered myself to have not only my beautiful family, but have a successful career, have a degree, 2 degrees, and going to get my master's, different things like that, because I took that fire that they put in my mind and I ran with it. And that's why I tell you all today that all y'all have a voice. All y'all is meant to be heard. And I just appreciate you guys for, just jumping on this Zoom call to come together to educate each other, to empower each other, to listen to each other. You don't know how important that is. And I hope we can get some more brothers on this call with us soon, because we need each other. We need each other more than ever.
Yeah.
Like I said, I appreciate Naheem, Mr. Candy, Darius, my brother. I appreciate all you guys on the call because you understand it meant a lot for this organization. Man, that's what we're here for, to empower each other. We give back. We got kids, we got families, but we still choose to give back. We want to. It's a habit for us to give back to help the next person. Like if I see somebody walking into a store, my first instinct is to open the door for that person because I don't need to go in the store that quickly. I'm gonna open the door for that person and show that person, hey, I'm here for you. Even though I don't know you, I'm here for you. And that's what we gotta do. We gotta love each other. Like Darius said, you gotta put love in each other's heart. But it starts in the household. You gotta teach your kids to, look at color, but also to understand, hey, that person might be black, but get to know that person. Get to know that person closer. Get to know how that person grew up before you start judging them. So that's the biggest thing, that where it's who I am. Get to know me. Get to know the person before you see, like Naheem said, the tattoos. See the hairstyle. See how I dress. Get to know me because you don't never know who I am. I can be somebody that can help you. I can be somebody that empower you. You just never know. So it's very important we have these conversations because we all need each other.
Word.
But I don't want to hold anybody longer. I appreciate everybody being on the call today. Again, we plan on having another call sometime in a couple weeks from now. And I want you guys that, was here, that listening, was not speaking that much. I understand right now you're here to listen, to get wisdom, but I want you to know your voice is powerful. I want you to be heard. I want you to speak. It's very important to let that out. Don't keep that anger in, or don't keep that the way you feel in, because your voice is very, very powerful. But do anybody got something to say before we leave this Zoom call?
Just to wrap it up, I wanted to definitely take the time to thank, as DJ said, thank everyone for tuning in. Thank everybody for listening. Thanks those who participated. And just want to thank everybody who came on to support me, Kenny, J Love, Jamon, Ayana, my moms, etc. Just want to definitely thank you all, and don't be selfish with this. Share this, like DJ said. A lot of people need this, and a lot of people will definitely benefit from these productive conversations, these conversations that reflect change, positivity, and leadership. So as DJ said, he plans to have these in the future. When you see them, share them. Put it on your Instagram feed, send it to your homies, send it to your bros, send it to everybody you know, and continue to create an open space for young Black people to express themselves in a positive light. So definitely appreciate everyone. Hope everyone has a great day.
You too, man. Be safe.
All right, man. All right, man. Appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe, and hopefully y'all be on our next call. But y'all have a good one. Be safe out here. Love you guys.
Love you too, bro.
Definitely, I appreciate it. Love y'all.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, y'all be safe, man. All right, man.
Love y'all too.
Appreciate y'all.